Broadcasting live, KSLA News 12 starts now.
We're taking a live look outside at our DOTD traffic cameras, and traffic is flowing smoothly. Looks like if you're getting ready to head out the door to see mom today or go to church, you should be fine. But happy Mother's Day. Thanks so much for joining us this weekend for our KSLA News 12 this morning. I'm Destiny Patterson, but first we're going to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle, who's going to be joining me today. And I know that we've got some storms rolling in. What's the weather looking like today?
Yeah, unfortunately, Destiny, Mother's Day is not going to turn out as nice as yesterday did across the Arklatex. Of course, we've been giving you the first alert about this for the last few days. Well, that severe weather risk, that is with us. And in fact, just the first alert, the risk has been increased now across the Arklatex. We're now looking at an enhanced risk on a scale of 1 to 5. That puts us at a 3. The area in orange from I-30 southward is where we're most likely to see some strong and severe thunderstorms coming in for the afternoon hours. So important that you do stay weather alert and weather aware as we head through the afternoon hours. Now, what are the primary concerns? The good news is the overall tornado risk looks fairly low, but it's not zero, so won't rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two. Main concerns do appear to be, though, some strong wind gusts. We have a medium risk for that for a large part of the Arklatex, and in particular, we're going to be looking for perhaps some large hail. That really appears to be the greatest risk. That is medium all across the area, but also where you see the hatched area from I-30 southward. Potentially, we could be looking at some hailstones, maybe golf ball sized or larger. At least it appears the atmosphere may be set up to perhaps produce hail that large. So you do, again, want to stay weather aware and weather alert through the afternoon hours. And of course, we'll be here tracking the storms once they start to pop up. Now, there's nothing out there right now. This is the latest with our future track here at 8 o'clock this morning. We've got the overcast skies. Cold front, though, is going to be the focus for showers and storms. Right now, that lies just north of the Arklatex, but it will be shifting in as we head towards this afternoon. Here's the noon hour, this skinny little line that may have a couple showers with it. That's where our cold front is located. Showers and thunderstorms, though, will start flaring up, it appears, by mid-afternoon today. Here's around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Again, potentially some of these storms could be on the strong and severe side as we head through the mid to late afternoon hours. By 6, 7 o'clock this evening, future track indicating those strongest storms will likely be south of I-20 at that point. And the good news is this is not going to last through the overnight hours. By early evening, showers and storms are beginning to move on out. By the midnight hour tonight, should get a little bit of a reprieve, at least from the stormy weather. By morning, though, more showers and thunderstorms are expected to come in for you Monday. This is around 7, 8 o'clock Monday morning, tracking some more rainfall. We'll actually take a closer look at some of the additional rain and storms we expect for the first half of next week, a little bit later in this newscast. Here's how things break down today. Again, the morning hours just kind of cloudy, but should be mainly dry. Rain chances up to 50% by 2. They'll go 80 to 90% by late afternoon and early evening. Temperatures ahead of the storms will make it into the 80s, but as the storms move through, you can expect those temperatures to cool off. In some cases, you may actually drop into the 60s in a few spots. Here is your first alert 7-day forecast. Again, 70% on your rain and storm chances today, high around 84. More often on rain and storms, though, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, with temperatures dropping back into the 60s to low 70s. Might get a couple stronger storms Monday, Tuesday as well. And again, we'll chat more about that later in the newscast. By Thursday, Friday, though, back to dry weather, sunshine, and temperatures warming their way back into the 80s. Destiny?
Now in the First Alert Center, the Gregg County Sheriff's Office is asking you for help in finding a man who may have information on a recent homicide. They're looking for 39-year-old Brandon Gillum following a homicide investigation on North White Oak Road in White Oak, Texas. If you've seen Gillum and know where he is, please contact the Gregg County Sheriff's Office. 2 men were hurt in a shooting just after midnight on Friday night. According to Shreveport police, 3 friends were sitting in a car in the 700 block of Bernice Circle when a white vehicle drove by and started shooting. 1 man was shot in the side and another was grazed by a bullet. Both men have non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting remains under investigation. People across Louisiana may soon receive unclaimed property checks in the mail. The Department of Treasury will send out more than $4 million in unclaimed property money. $33,000 will go out this week, and the largest amounts will go to addresses in East Baton Rouge Parish. To find out if you have unclaimed property, go to latreasury.com. We're just days away from federal tax filing deadlines, and experts say if you've procrastinated, you need to file this weekend at the latest. The feds extended the due date back in April, meaning if you get your paperwork in late, the penalties may be more harsh. If the scare tactics don't work, there's also an incentive to file. Many people may be owed more stimulus money.
If you did not get all of your money for a dependent, or because the rules changed, or perhaps you share custody, or perhaps you had a new baby, those would not have already been paid to you. You will have to ask for that money on your 2020 tax return.
If you don't think you can file on time, you can request an extension, but tax experts say that should be the very last option. For those who have filed, though, you can check your status of your tax refund at irs.gov. The average refund is just under $3,000. The same state program that will help cover your rent costs is now offering to help you pay your utility bills. Louisiana's COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance Program will help cover power, water, and other utility costs dating back to 2020. The people behind the program are calling this a golden opportunity for you to get ahead of the financial stress the pandemic has placed on all of us. 57 parishes qualify for that program. Now, in case you haven't heard, Amazon has announced plans to build a robotics fulfillment center here in Shreveport. KSLA News 12's Kinley Hargett shares how city and state leaders say this is just the beginning of new growth in Louisiana.
Amazon is coming to Shreveport. The $200 million robotic fulfillment center will bring in 1,118 indirect jobs, 2,100 permanent jobs, and 800 construction jobs.
Multi-dimensional fulfillment center in Caddo Parish would undoubtedly have a significant impact in our area's economy.
Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards helped to make the announcement at the Shreveport Convention Center. He says this was all possible because Shreveport has a LED certified site, which makes this type of technology available for companies.
A company calls, you need to have an inventory of sites that are suitable for what they're asking for, and you engage their interest right away. If you say, well, let me make some phone calls and call you back next week, guess what? It may be too late.
Even with this big announcement, crews have already begun moving dirt and getting ready for construction of this $200 million facility that will bring tremendous growth to the area. Amazon expects to open the site on September 22nd, giving a surge of job growth and opportunities to the area. Reporting in Shreveport, Kinley Hargett, KSLA News 12.
Now, Governor Edwards pointed out that along with strong benefits, workers will earn double the minimum wage or more at this upcoming fulfillment center. For the first time since October, the 7-day average of new COVID-19 cases in the U.S. has fallen to 45,000 per day. And some health officials want to improve confidence in the vaccine because they're concerned about a possible surge as different variants of COVID-19 spread.
I think boosters are going to be a reality. Whether that is that once a year, like the flu vaccine, we just don't know that part yet. And so what we need to do is really focus on maintaining that mass vaccination infrastructure that we have, boosting our ability to track variants.
A forecast from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington says 65% of Americans will be fully vaccinated by the middle of next month, and a wider group of adolescents are expected to become eligible soon.
We do have storms on the way for your Mother's Day, but not the only day we're going to be tracking active weather. We'll take a look at what we'll be expecting heading into next week on the way in your forecast.
The wreckage of an out-of-control Chinese rocket fell to Earth Saturday night, but where did it land? We've got those details when we return. And take a look at some of our Arklatex graduates. Congratulations on your big achievement. We'll be right back.
Hi again, everyone. Scattered storms on your Mother's Day, and as we talked about earlier, potentially some of those could be severe. Here's another look at future track. We're quiet for now, but as we head past the noon hour, and particularly around mid-afternoon, expected to see showers and storms flare up. This is around 4 o'clock. Some of these storms between I-30 down to the I-20 corridor could quickly become severe, and certainly through 7 o'clock this evening, notice the storms look fairly intense here near and south of the I-20 corridor, with potentially some large hail and some damaging wind and just a low-end tornado risk. Good news is it doesn't last all night. By midnight tonight, should get a little break out there. More showers and storms, though, coming back in for your Monday in the morning, with some additional showers and storms heading into your Monday afternoon. And that will be the beginning of a wet stretch of weather Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Elevated rain chances. They'll go down again Thursday and Friday, so at least it will not rain all week. Again, today, our greatest risk of severe weather with an enhanced risk, 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. But even tomorrow and on Tuesday, there's going to be a low-end marginal risk of severe weather, primarily looking for Monday and Tuesday, maybe a few more hailstorms out there. I don't think the risk, though, will be quite as significant as it appears to be today. The other thing we're going to be monitoring, rain amounts, which could be locally heavy between now and Wednesday. Future tracks suggesting parts of the Arklatex could see as much as 3 to 4 inches of rain over the next 4 days. Back in just a few moments. Got a look at your First Alert 12-day forecast at the end of the newscast. Destiny.
A 4-year-old is one of 3 bystanders hurt after a shooting in Times Square. The 4-year-old went in for surgery after being shot in the leg. The other 2 people are adults, and there's no word yet on the extent of their injuries. Investigators believe 2 to 4 men got into an argument, and during the fight, at least one of them fired a gun. Police have 1 person of interest, but haven't made any arrests yet. And violence erupts at the Aventura Mall near Miami, Florida, sending at least 5 people to the hospital. Aventura police tweeted that several suspects are in custody and are being questioned, but the alleged shooter is still on the run. Police also tweeted that 3 of the victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries, while another victim is on trauma alert. No word yet about a possible motive for this shooting. A cyber attack forced the temporary shutdown of one of the nation's largest pipelines on Friday, highlighting already heightened concerns over vulnerabilities in America's critical infrastructure. Colonial Pipeline transports more than 100 million gallons of gasoline and other fuel daily from Houston to New York Harbor. Colonial has a third-party cybersecurity firm investigating the incident, along with law enforcement and other federal agencies. Last month, the Biden administration launched an effort to beef up cybersecurity in the nation's power grid, calling for industry leaders to install technologies that could thwart attacks on the electricity supply. The mystery is over as to where wreckage of an out-of-control Chinese rocket would land. Pieces of the rocket finally fell to Earth about 9:30 last night as people around the world anxiously kept their eyes on the sky. Dania Bakis has the latest.
Remnants of a 20-ton Chinese rocket rained down on the Indian Ocean, somewhere southwest of India and Sri Lanka, Sunday morning local time, which was around 10:30 Saturday night Eastern time. Chinese state-run media is reporting the bulk of its largest rocket burned upon re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere near the Maldives. The Long March 5B rocket blasted off April 29th, carrying components of China's planned space station, Harmony of the Heavens. But the Chinese space agency lost control of the rocket as it continued its 17,000-mile-an-hour orbit around the Earth, edging closer and closer with each pass. Skywatchers caught glimpses of it as it tracked as far north as New York and as far south as New Zealand.
This is the second largest uncontrolled re-entry in the last couple of decades.
There were fears it would send objects weighing hundreds of pounds slamming into the Earth as it re-entered the atmosphere.
About 9 tons we estimate will survive. And of that's kind of equivalent to dropping 3 pickup trucks on somebody's head or crashing a small airplane.
The U.S. military tracked the rocket's trajectory but had no plans to shoot it down. China insisted its remnants were unlikely to cause harm.
What you have to remember is the world is 75% covered in water. In the land area, while it's very vast, there's a lot more empty land for debris to fall on than there are populated areas.
Still, the suspense as to exactly where pieces of that rocket would land had many on the edge of their seats. Dania Bakis, CBS News.
Now don't forget, today is the last day to enjoy the spring edition of the State Fair of Louisiana. You can scan this QR code you see on your screen right now and you can get all the information you need about this year's fair, from entertainment to livestock shows, exhibitions, and concessions. And today is also the last day to enjoy the 2021 Defenders of Liberty Air Show at Barksdale Air Force Base. The start time for the show has been moved up to 10 this morning due to weather, and the show will be condensed and is expected to end around noon. The gates will still open at 9 a.m. Today we celebrate Mom. In today's Spending Smarter, we know money is tight for many of you, and that's why Adria Goins found some less expensive options for your mom while still making her feel spoiled.
The top 3 buys for Mom on Mother's Day: flowers, social outings, and greeting cards. In fact, Mother's Day is bigger for the floral industry than Valentine's Day. But those beautiful blooms, they can be pricey. So here's a few other less expensive options that you can get for Mom this weekend and still make sure that she feels like $1 million. Instead of buying flowers that you just throw away in a few weeks, why not pick her out a pretty plant or a small tree that she can keep either inside or outside the house for years to come. Also, there's nothing a mom likes more than being pampered. So do the dishes, clean the house, cook her favorite meal. What's even better, write down a day on a nice card, all of the great ways you're going to pamper her, and present it to her as a gift. Spend the day waiting on her hand and foot. It costs you next to nothing, and it means everything to Mom. And lastly, give her time. Mom rarely gets to do things that she wants to do because she's busy doing things that she needs to do. So tell her that things are going to be taken care of at the house, and go let her do a run maybe, or sit down with a book for some quiet time away from the kids. Trust me, that's invaluable. We've also posted several DIY crafts kids can make for Mother's Day at arklaTexWeekend.com. Check it out. With your Spending Smarter, I'm Adria Goins.
So this is the story that Adria just mentioned on our Arklatex Weekend app, and it's titled DIY Mother's Day Crafts. You can click the link, and then it shares different ideas to make something special for your mom with the kids. And we all love the pics that we've been receiving from the moms. You can send a picture on our KSLA News 12 app or KSLA.com, and we will add it to our slideshow. The most popular baby names in America are the same for the second year in a row. And to all the new moms out there, were these names on your list? The top girl name for 2020 is Olivia, and the top boy name is Liam. Close behind, though, were Emma, Ava, Charlotte, Sophia, Noah, Oliver, Elijah, and William. And before we end out the newscast, of course, we have to give shout out to our own moms. This is my mom and my grandmother, and I'm so thankful for everything that you do for us. And here we've got Jeff Castle and his mom. Jeff, do you want to say anything about your mom?
Yeah, well, the first picture, of course, was here at the studio, and the one that was just up there was me as a baby. So looking forward to spending some time with my mom again here post-pandemic. I've not seen my mom or my dad, for that matter, in more than a year, almost a year and a half now. So.
Well, hopefully you can get to see them soon.
Yeah.
And we've also got some pics up here rolling through of our producer, Caitlin, and our production staff, our TMP, Chad, and his mom as well. So thank you again to all of the moms, and thank you to our moms. We appreciate you so much.
Hey, get everyone time for that First Alert 12-day forecast. Again, moms, I'm sorry. I wish I had great weather like yesterday. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Storms are back here for your Sunday afternoon. Potentially, some of those may be strong to severe. I'll be in this afternoon and this evening tracking those out for you. And we will see more active weather Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Perhaps not the same sort of severe weather risk, although even Monday and Tuesday, there could be a few storms that do produce some hail. Temperatures, though, come down back into the 60s to around 70. Late next week, we warm back up as we dry out temporarily. Temperatures return to the 80s by Friday. Heading into next weekend, optimistic that maybe it'll stay quiet, but then more active weather appears to be on the way as we take you into the following week, with temperatures staying mainly in the 80s. You can keep up with those storms today on the KSLA First Alert weather app, and again, I'll be tracking them as they come in this afternoon.
Well, thanks so much for watching KSLA News.